All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Hinamatsuri, episode 2. Okay. Love this show.
This show's great.
This show's adorable. It's just so funny, too.
And we still haven't gotten back to present time.
That's true.
So,
that's very true.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose they could just go back to that in this episode.
That's also true. Yes.
But we have our wonderful relationship between Hina and Nita-san.
Yes.
The Yakuza Dado.
Indeed.
Yeah, and our resident adorable telekinetic psychic. Yeah.
Yes.
Who now is going to school.
Who came in a pod, portal thing,
yeah,
and trapped him inside this thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So let's have more just ridiculous escapades and adventures.
Yes.
I like the way that she had her helping of Nita with his whole issue with the other, crime. Bosses and stuff like that,
right.
That he had to go and eliminate solo.
And now he has like this legendary reputation within the Yakuza as being like, whoa, you're a top guy.
How did you do all that?
You just took out an entire building's full of like enemies.
But they're all alive.
Right.
So they're going to know what happened, too.
Just comic stuff, because really they would have all been killed by the telekinesis. So
I mean,
it's just
maybe
whatever.
We'll see.
Maybe he double tapped them all after they were thrown out of the building.
God, I hope not.
Like I mean, he probably
he's
killed,
a wholesome dad,
but he probably killed the guy that she brought out to him. Like, because they, that was the mission. So
well. Hinamatsuri, all the show is ridiculous and we want more of it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Oh,
portal.
Another portal, yeah.
So, new characters.
Yeah. Ah!
Wow.
What the heck?
Yeah. So does she have like lightning powers or something?
I don't know. They're not wanting to show us. Ah, yes. Terminator
Just like
style.
Terminator. Yep.
Yes. Yes. He's like, oh no, was that Hina? Yeah. She's literally wearing
the trophy.
And they just sit next to her.
Yep. Oh. Saving that guy's life.
Yeah. Yes.
He's gonna create this little foster home for all the lost psychics. Ah! Wow.
The sequence of
anytime telekinetic powers are used instead of them dying, it's just
ouchie. Yeah. Good point. I love the comedy. It's in these little offhand remarks and dialogues. And she's just gonna show up right here.
Is this like
it's one of these. Yeah. Why?
Wow.
It's so snappy.
He didn't even get to finish what he was saying.
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wow.
This is amazing.
ひな、ちょっと動かないで。あ、いった。
Ow!
死んだってことにするから。
Oh, okay.
紙でなんとかしてみるわ。帰
Thank
る
you.
前に一緒に。
Aw.
はできていろいろ知ったよ。
She's like, you've changed, yeah.
前
Oh,
は会話すらまともにしなかったの。
oh, it's Nita. It's
Yeah.
Nita's doing. Oh, oh my God.
One became two, became three.
Yep. Oh.
じゃあ帰る。
Oh.
何これ。
Because it was washed.
Oh no!
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
これでも置いた手前。ひなのところに。
Bababaka.
Anzu's homeless again. Is that like she might be coming from like the future or something? Like
Yeah.
as far as we know. Wow, they really went all in on the animation there. Oh.
何か甘いカクテルを
あ
してもらおうか。
噂になってますよ。新田さんは娘との時間を大切にしたいから。
Oh!
もう一切経ったって。
It's killing his. It's
Yeah.
killing his style.
な遊び人だった新田さんがね、1万くらい使ったって本当に。
で、ご飯は
全部こいつのせいだったのか。こいつの。
It's gonna be a very basic.
Oh my god.
でもうまいな。
Oh. What's this music though?
Yeah.
Too. It's like I'm sexy suave man. Yeah.
ちょっと出かけてくる。
Oh.
新田さんありがとう。
Gotcha.
This will be the conflict for this. Wow.
新田さんが
Oh.
デートに誘ってくれ
Okay.
たって楽しみ。
どうした？
I'm going with you.
私も
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
最近
Why?
いつも出かけてる。
Yeah. Or more like, whoom, like he gets lifted up into the sky or something.
She's already there.
Yeah.
どうしたのひなちゃん。
最近新田がおかしい。なのに私は毎日缶詰ばかり。
聞いちゃいけない家庭の事情が。
誘惑が多い。
Full of temptation.
I think she's talking about the food.
She's talking about the food. I know. I know.
見失ってたね。
ハイボールね。もしかして作り方わかんない？
He's like, I'll teach you. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
はい、タコさん、今日も来たよ。お、
ハイボールです。
ショーバーテンダーの誕生だ。あれ、店間違えた？あれ、新田さんじゃないな。
新田さんのお父さん助かった。
俺はお父さんなんかじゃねえ。決して。
ひなちゃんは新田さんに会ってどうしたいの？
This is so divine punishment.
物にしてあげる。きっと美味しいもの食べてるに違いない。
Aww.
ひなちゃんは新田さんと一緒に遊びたいんだね。
There you go.
Yeah.
新田さんだって私を何度も食事に誘ってくるのよ。
And she's like,
そうですね。いらっしゃいませ。
タコさん、こいつは逸材だよ。教えたことどんどん形成しちまう。
私も新田とキャバクラに行ってみたい。
なんでだよ。いいじゃねえな。今日は最年少キャバクラ経験者も誕生しちまうのか。行っちまうか。
oh my god.
ついてこい。
Oh my
The poor
god.
friend in the background just like, oh my gosh. With the two kids though. And he has no idea what's going on. She's just, yeah.
シャンパン宙に浮かせて告げよ。
No.
やっていい？
Oh
だって
no.
イリュージョンだもん。
Gotcha.
スーパーイリュージョン。
Super illusion.
なんで私がここにいる？
Yeah. Her parents are freaking out. Where are you?
キャバクラにいるんだけど。
2.5
This doesn't have
million.
a hangover.
Nope.
また行きたいな。
我が家はしばらく
俺も。
Uh-oh.
That was amazing.
Oh, that was so
That
good.
was so wonderful. Oh man.
Oh.
Wow.
That was
Wow.
that was just perfect. Yeah. And the bar with all of them having the party in the ED is that bar, and it's basically those kinds of escapades that will happen.
Yep.
This
Wow.
was just perfect. This was just so perfect. It was
This
It
was
was
amazing.
amazing.
This was amazing. It was so
Oh,
wonderful.
I
And the thing
loved
is,
it.
and the thing is that they set up a real conflict of the
Yes.
fact that, you know, he starts to, you know, not be taking as good care of her as he should be, right? You know, but then they talk about it openly, and they have a crazy wacky solution to it, which is go to a girly club and, you know, order a champagne tower, and oh my god,
just have a ball, just have a blast. And then you have this whole thing in the beginning where you have Anzu, the basically the warrior psychic who comes in to basically terminate the Terminator.
Right.
And it's like, okay, I am sent to dispose of you.
Right.
But first I must figure out how to survive here.
Yeah. And I love the fact that she keeps the uniform, the clothes of the president of the whatever gang or something, you know, because, well, yeah, of course. Well, one, those are the only clothes she owns, but two, you know, she defeated them after all, you know, so
absolutely.
it's a trophy.
And I was wondering why they were showcasing the red ball basically being in the wash.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh right, that's the thing that they use to expand into the pod.
But then
no, you washed it. It's electronic. It doesn't work anymore.
Well, which is hilarious because the very nature of it defies our current understanding of physics. So who's to say that it's not completely and utterly sealed on the outside and no water would get in, right? But apparently not, you know. So
your weakness is copper, you know, like it's that kind of thing.
Like, oh man, that's great.
Yeah.
So, and after she pulled out Hina's hair, she just immediately just pulls out Hina's hair and it's just out, and then it's like, I'll use this to try and tell them that you're dead. And at first it's like, hey, that was mean, and it's like, oh no, that's very caring. Right. Then it's all for nothing anyways. Because
I gotta say the rock paper scissors little contest thing was comedic gold. I just gotta say though, it feels like a reference to something. Like it feels like something that would obviously be a perfect skit kind of comedy story in something else, and this is them like paying like a references, because this show has so many references to pop culture and other things. So I'm like wondering if like the idea of a rock paper scissors competition in exchange to have you psychically move
or whatever.
Yes, exactly. It's just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and
this is so good.
And okay, so at first, like, all right, in the Attack on Titan episode, because you know a bit of that scene was used to censor the OP of spoilers, right? You know, and I didn't get too close of a look at it, but it looked like someone was like flipping the other person off, you know, and then it was like some crazy, you know, response to that. So, but no, it's just they're telekinetically moving the wind to try and cause the other person to look in the direction that they want.
Right.
And then, just the well, yeah, that. But when Hina ends up winning, and then Anzu's like, like,
well, you heard the,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, it's like if this wasn't such a comedy where telekinesis couldn't hurt anybody, so many people would have been dead by now. Like, don't try this at home, kids, if you have telekinetic powers, because, oh boy, human body is a fragile thing.
Just levitate, you know, bottles above champagne towers. That's a good starting.
And I love the whole thing of them just being like, nah, like first
super illusion.
Yeah, because one, they're all drinking, right? They're not exactly like fully cognizant, but two.
Yeah, we had the Tanaka older guy who was like, I got super lucky at the horse race, man. And she's like a sponge. She's a diamond in the rough. She learns. She takes every instruction that we say, and she's just like, oh my god. He's like,
and then the mom calls her and is like, where are you? Do you know what time it is? You know, and she's like, I'm at a girly club. Yeah, right. Get home now.
That's funny. Yeah. And she's gonna end up getting roped into this whole
bartender. Yeah, because in the ED. Oh man.
Oh, that's so good. I also like the idea of that. They're already bringing up, and we brought it up like almost immediately in the first episode, but we are naming him for Nita. We call him the Yakuza Dad.
Right.
And if Yakuza Dad is what we saw of him just in episode 1, the idea that his reputation expanded with what she did. Therefore, all the communication surrounding, who is this guy that did all this stuff?
Right.
Well, didn't you know he's actually a really loving father?
Yeah, exactly.
And we saw him at a department store, and he spent like 1 million yen on her just to make sure she's happy. And they're like, oh my god, that is the sweetest thing. So they're all like, no crazy fun. You've got a daughter to look after for. And he's just like, nanny.
I want to have crazy fun.
I want to have fun. Why can't I just splurge my money and just do stupid stuff with beautiful girls? And they're like, no, you're a dad. Like, he's sweet.
And then gets the good advice of, hey, be open with him.
Right.
Tell him how you feel and that you want to hang out with him and have fun with him and that you don't like being left at the house.
Yeah.
So naturally, she says, I want to go to a girly bar with you.
It's so wholesome.
It's so wholesome. But the thing is, like, I could see in a lot of situations people being like taking, kids to a bar and things like that and having them make alcoholic drinks and whatnot.
Yes.
It's like, it's one of those things where it's like, if I were to see that happening, especially if I knew the person was Yakuza, right? And I was one of the people that saw them parading in the streets, saying, we're gonna go to a girly bar and stuff, I'd be like, someone rescue those kids, right? But hey, this is anime and stuff, and it's just this wholesome, wonderful, adorable thing where she is being able to be introduced to his life.
She's having a good time.
Oh, and she's having a great time.
This.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely. Like,
I love how the show balances the weird, bizarre aspect of it, and then the comedy dialogue, little like snappy stuff that happens, and then the wholesome bit to create this trifecta of like, I don't know, something that I've never really seen this combination of done this way.
And if I were to point out something that I think perfectly established that as a tone for the show, it would be the pod. Because when the pod shows up, one, it's like one of those, like, okay, he's going through his semi-normal life and then this crazy thing happens.
Yeah.
But the fact that this is one of those things of visual storytelling. Because, like, I think about, like, okay, how would I describe that in a book? It wouldn't have the same effect because the whole point of the pod is that it defies logic, right? Someone shouldn't be able to fit in that. Yet they're there,
and why is
their head poking out? Like that's like that seems completely like pointless. Why not just have the head completely inside, right? But why not? Just why not? And then from there we can have all those things, like all the times people get telekinetically beaten up and should be dead or have broken bones and stuff. They just say ouchie, ouchie, I feel like it's the equivalent of like the parachute, in the old comics when like, planes would get shot out of the sky and then it'd be like, oh no, and then parachute. They would always have a parachute for every plane so that you knew that no one was actually dying, right?
Yes.
Oh man, I love it. I love it so much.
I gotta say, there are a lot of individual comedic gags that I thought were handled brilliantly. And a lot of it, I have to say, goes to the delivery of the lines, especially with Hina. So when he gives basically you better do this way, otherwise Hina's gonna run away at top speed. And she's like, why am I gonna do that? He's like, Carter, if you didn't, I'm gonna be running away at top speed. Like exactly at the second, like even before he's finished talking.
Right, exactly. She just starts saying, and then she starts embellishing on it when he says, like, and we'll have it tomorrow. And she's like, yes, fear me, blah,
like,
blah, blah.
What are you scared? Like, you gonna fight me? Whatever, come on, you coward, And the other thing is that we don't hear what he's saying after that point, but his hand and his face remains next to her ear, so he could be like making all kinds of promises, and then in some way that sets up the gag of when he comes back and he's doing all the just leaving mackerel, like canned fish and stuff. She's just like, okay, what is this?
Right.
It's actually kind of good. But then this happens over and over and over again. She's like, wait a minute. Like, we were having deals and stuff.
What happened to spending an entire day playing video games and stuff? That was great. You know, like that was absolutely fantastic because it's showing that it's a completely normal thing.
Yeah.
Like he's just giving her this normal existence that isn't even like
that great. Like,
right, exactly. It's not even that great. It's not necessarily like healthy for her, like, you know, growing as an individual, to be an upstanding member of society, you know. You know, but given the circumstances that she has come from, that we reference in sort of a comical but also, you know, it's very serious kind of way.
Yeah, kind of a serious side glance.
Like,
you know?
like this is the perfect way for her to like adjust from that. You know, and
we get to see that when Anzu comes up. It's like, you've never changed.
You couldn't talk.
You
before.
wouldn't even talk. Yeah.
It's like
it's adorable. This is so good.
Yeah, like, oh man, this is wonderful. This is so great.
Now here's the thing. The thing. I just realized the point of the ED is basically to say that Hina and Nita, over the course of the show, because of the way they'll change each other, are going to attract this bizarre group of people, this bizarre mishmash of people that see them as living life in a unique and special way that they can't help but want to be around.
They will help each other and also help all the people around them as a result of that. It's going to be absolutely wonderful and so fantastic. And also kind of poetic if you think about it, that out of something as horrible as a child experiment psychokinetic, you know, lab where they send them off to kill people
that could have gone full elfin lead for all we know.
Well, and as far as we know, that's what it was right up till the point where she came to Nita.
Yeah.
Like, because the whole thing of like, oh, kill enemies and things like that, that was something that she was fully like aware of and whatnot. So, you know, and even the whole stuff of the people getting thrown out and saying ouchie, that could theoretically be a form of creative censoring of what might actually be happening and basically just brushing it under the rug. You know, like, not saying that that's actually what's happening, but like that potentially in their own heads, if there were things that happened like that before, that's kind of what they would have had to have just, you know,
I understand what you're saying, but to take it literally is obviously, you know, not what the show is planning with here. But yes, I see what you're saying. Like a way of looking at it also would be like that she's doing this in a, you know, a calmer way because he didn't ask her to. But literally, if he had asked her to, she probably would have, you know, killed them all. And it's the same thing of her bullying him early on with the vase and the art and everything, and being
or him grabbing her face and being like, "You're pissing me off."
Well, at that point, she'd already changed, and now she's just like, "What's the deal? What's going on?" She doesn't see this as some. Oh, actually, yeah, you're right, because she doesn't react strongly to that. In some ways, that shows where she came up in that kind of physical abuse would have been normal. And she's like, oh. Yeah. But it's so sweet. It's also very simple. We get like a very fun premise that keeps getting built upon. I love the way that them following and stalking Nita ended up going this route.
Yes.
And I also really like the bartender girl.
Yeah, she's great. Like,
she'll be a great mom.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, kind of mom figure in the story.
Whether it's like, you know, Nita and her actually end up like getting married or something, you know, or it's just that she's the mom figure because she's a great mom figure. Like and of course her mom figure. Anyways. Just had to make that joke. But the introduction for Anzu was fantastic. The way they literally just dropped her into the story, and it's very clear why she's here. And then they end up resolving it and basically saying she can still be in the story, but because of her tsundere baka ponytail, whatever that you know thing is, she cannot actually say that, yes, I'm here to stay. Which means that basically they can have her be in the story whenever they want, but they don't have to have her in there all the time.
Right. And she'll probably be in the next episode, given that they had the whole thing of she's now homeless again.
Right.
And the next episode has something to do with the homeless. So
good point. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Based on the little title thing at the end of the episode. So,
oh man.
Yeah.
Wow.
This show. I want more of it. I want more ridiculous, silly antics.
Thank you for getting us to watch this show. I mean, I know we put it on quite a few polls before it happened, but like
I'm tooting my own horn here a little bit, but like once someone told me like that this show was worth watching, and I basically asked them, so what's kind of the the gist about it and stuff, and they said that it's just really good, but it's comedy that has some aspect of it that you wouldn't like expect. And I'm like, okay, cool. So off the wall comedy. That doesn't sound that great. But I had this like sense, like based on the people that were saying, like we need to watch it.
They weren't
and
necessarily just meaning that the comedy is something you wouldn't expect, but that there's other things you wouldn't expect alongside the comedy.
Right. They said that there was some other dimension to it that came with the comedy they wouldn't expect. But it was just the way they were talking about it, being like, you're gonna like this show, and I'm like, okay, yeah. Put it on as many polls, and here we go.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. So y'all, if you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion to Hinamatsuri right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. Any level of support gets you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us about these stories, about anime. Also, full lengths are there if we've got everything squared away with regards to copyright.
Right.
Also, if you want to discuss a certain story with Jacob,
indeed,
going to promote something here real quick.
Yes. So my sci-fi novel Battle Lines is out, available for sale on Amazon. There's a lot of discussion happening around on the Discord, so that's something that's on there.
Yep.
But if you don't know what it's about, it's this sci-fi novel about kids that are taken into a sort of lab-like thing to do things, and whatnot. And then there's the whole interactions and familial bonds that are forged through there and whatnot, and complicated stuff. But it's great. It's on Amazon. The link's in the description. Go buy it. Leave a review. It's awesome.
So check that out. It's pretty awesome. I've read it and quite like what he does with it. So if that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.